Here we go. Live on YouTube. I still have my account. Which is surprising considering what I talked about there a couple weeks ago. All right. Let's start off by... Where is my brave? There it is. All right. Bitcoin. Okay, I think... Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Everything just went spinning circle on me. How about you?
Yeah, likewise. And then you disappeared, and then I disappeared, and yeah.
And it still says you're there. So I have two of you. Oh, now it disappeared. Okay. Not sure what the leap is all about, but let's go back and try this again. Bitcoin dominance. That was the trigger for last time. All right, so Bitcoin dominance, we can see, is now hovering at that 60% line. In fact, it just ticked to 60% right now. We are below the trend line. Now, this is not price action. This is market dominance. So I don't know if the pattern is visible, but it does behave differently. We don't notice patterns unfold the same way that we usually do with price action. However, we can see that this 60% line has been a significant point where this dominance pivots. And right now, we're basically right on top of that 60% line. So it's going to be crucial over the next couple of days for dominance. If the dominance drops, then it will end up being more green for the altcoins. If dominance comes back up and possibly tests another high, it could very well come back up 62%. It did that before. If that were to occur, then we'll see a drop in the altcoins. Now, the market capitalization is going up has been going up. This is more so tied with the price. This is saying out of all the Bitcoins that have been bought at this price, it's worth that much in market capitalization. And what we see from the Bitcoin price pattern is that we are bouncing off this trend line again. So since Sunday was our confirmation. Well, actually, yeah, I would say Sunday's our confirmation where it's like, yeah, we actually are going up here. So we touched that line. We really tested far, even down as low as 98,000. The lowest that the price went was 98.9, which is the lowest it's been since... since June 2022. June 25. So June 22nd of this year was the last time it was at that price. Bouncing up right now. It's going to be interesting to see. You'll probably find some resistance at this level here at the 107, simply because that became a very important support for the push up to that all-time high. So that area there likely become some resistance. We might even retest this line. If we aren't able to hold that line, the price action could very well come down to, I'd say, the 89,000 area. Technically, market structure is still C. So it's a matter of waiting to see what's going to happen there. But I'm going to bring up ADA, because I remember saying when we were down here last week, if we're not able to keep above this, we'll probably dip down below. But the other argument that I had was that if we do go back up, we'll likely find some resistance at this level here. So right now we're up against that. Over the next day or two, we will see where it will progress from there. In the silver and gold markets, silver did a nice big jump here today so far, already up 4% from the start of the day. That's encouraging to see. I would expect that if we can maintain that, we'll probably find some support on the top end of the little consolidation zone that's forming. If it does that, if we're able to find that support there, we'll probably push up to new highs. Now, the other thing that could be happening, just because what's going on in the markets right now, who knows? It's all going to be, who knows what's going on there. But what could entirely possible is that this is a quick liquidity test. So who's in this position? Who's going up this way? Is it being driven up this way in order to entice traders going long, just to tease them back down again? That's why we don't trade bankers candles. So this candle coming out, shooting out nice and high like this is a good indication. But we still need to see confirmation of a pullback, finding some support before we know that, in fact, we are going to be going up. So this type of movement where there's a lot of price action within a very short period of time, that's only been, let's just go to the 2-hour chart here. Yeah, that's only just been in the last little while. Since yesterday afternoon. So this rise since yesterday afternoon when markets opened, it is, again, it's not bad, but that's pretty aggressive for a Monday. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. It's just jumped up again. Gold also having a nice big rise. It didn't experience the same type of consolidation that silver did over the past couple of weeks. Gold, however, it did have that lower low, and right now we still have to see it get above this little tiny consolidation. This rise could very well be a bull trap. This kind of thing happens where it's not wrong to go long term, but for some people who are looking to do more intraday trading with gold, they very well might be excited at this point buying, only to have the price find another low. We haven't tested this trend line. This trend line hasn't been tested since August. It would be nice actually to test that. It would give us more confidence going long than this. Oh, Ian made it in. Hello, Ian.
Are you calling that a banker's candle?
Not yet, no.
You froze.
I have returned. It's the second time that's happened in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, you both froze on my screen, but the clock was still ticking.
Yeah, and on my screen I could hear you, or on my end I could hear you, but everything was frozen.
Yeah, awful cold.
It is cold. All right, Japanese markets. Nothing too exciting over the past week. Obviously, it created some new highs there on the end of October. Nothing saying that it can't continue. It is all inflation, though. The Bank of Japan said so themselves. US 30, no different. The only difference is that the banking institutions won't admit that they're running out of money and they need to keep printing. Although I shouldn't say that. They do admit to it. They're wanting to reduce they're ceasing the reduction of the balance sheet, which is a really fancy way of saying we need to print lots.
Now you're anticipating a major drop here because of those three little mounds there, right?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. These are triple tops. Triple top is very indicative of the end of accumulation. And we've already had accumulation. This was recovery this year. That point there was recovery from COVID, and everything ever since has been accumulate. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. This is accumulation. C came back to test. This was during Biden's administration. C came back to test those old highs. Then recovery. And here it has all been accumulation. And so this accumulation here, triple top, is and this drop here, that is indicative of unsustainability. So this drop signifies to me that this top that we're experiencing right now is not real. It's just the extra push that they're giving the wagon as it
well, that
goes,
drop there,
yeah,
tested the previous high.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yeah, right there.
So it's repeating what C has done.
That's right. Yep. So that brings up a great point. I'm of two minds, and I don't know which one to pick. And every day it's like back and forth. There is the mind that this was the accumulation and that we just finished accumulating or recovering, and we're now accumulating again after that triple top. However,
go
ahead.
I said your C could be an A, your D could be a B. That low point could be a C, and we don't know what the D is yet.
Yep, that's entirely true. And given that even that previous high, that triple top, even got retested. That's significant. And so this is where I flip back and forth between two different minds. One, that this is unsustainable. The printing is going to do this, and that we are going to end up having a crisis, which, similar to COVID, made a very large drop, 38% within a very short period of time. So 38% would bring us down to sea levels. Now, if it were to do that, it wouldn't be a loss of money. It would just be the money transferring from one form into the other, just like they did with COVID. This is when everybody started going online and Zoom became a household name. So the amount of data that they want people to sign up for is astronomical. And by having this drop, it's going to necessitate more people going online. There's going to be some other sort of lockdown restriction. And so I'm of the mind that if that were to occur, it would be blamed on a crisis. If it continues, it will be because Trump did such a great job at convincing everybody that he was the savior of the world, and hope in the US economy is restored simply because of how awesome AI is doing. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that occurring. However, I flip back and forth because some days this looks great. Other days I'm thinking to myself, this 2020 drop is what they needed in order to get us online more. I mean, all the kids, they started taking school online. They created digital IDs. Almost every kid that I knew, every family that I knew had their kids going in through Google Class. So they all had to get a Google account.
Yeah, well, that didn't have anything to do with the markets. That was them telling you couldn't go to work.
That's right.
So
Yep.
that force that created I don't know what that created that drop that you see there.
Yes. Well, the biggest the most significant thing to be aware, like look at how there's that triple top extension and then drop, right?
Now you're frozen again.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Well,
Am
there
I
you
still
go.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody ought to pay the heating bill. Ha! Too cold.
Yeah. Frozen again. So we had the two.
Frozen.
I'm getting pretty frustrated by that.
Yeah. Okay, you're good now.
Then we had the two tops, another dip, just like we did last time.
Yeah.
And then the triple top occurred, and then the extension. So I'm just going based off that pattern. I hesitate to think that this won't happen.
So where's the triple top there? One, two, three. Okay.
Two, and then three. The third one happened after that little retracement.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah. So 2, dip, 3, and then extension, and then the crash.
So we're in the midst of the extension now.
We're now still,
Frozen.
So frustrating.
Okay, you're good.
Thank you. I'm actually looking at our link.
Oh,
seems to be pretty stable. Is it stable?
It is. They do have their problems, but they've been working at it. And the thing is that they work at it. They're very responsive.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I don't know if this has to do with Zoom. No, not Zoom. You're not on Zoom.
Yeah,
it has to do with the YouTube.
It might have to do with YouTube because I've had no problems for a long time. It's only today, and I put it up on YouTube. And I did it last time as well, but I also did things that are censorable on YouTube.
So when you look at the Michael Burry article that I sent to the chat, what's the significance that might have on the anticipation of what's to come? I mean, he's obviously, he has bet over $1 billion.
Yep.
Against the market.
Yep. And he's right to do so. Especially, I think he's right to do so.
Well, he's focused on the AI issue. So, based on what you've said in the past, the AI issue is going to be the issue. Oh, you're frozen. Audrey's moving around. I can see her moving, but you're frozen, buddy.
Yeah, Paul's frozen for me too.
Okay.
There, I think I'm back again.
Yeah, you are.
It's something to do with the internet here.
Audrey Lynn, you're not in the picture at all, but
yeah, some weird things have been happening lately, even for me. So
yeah. Okay. Well, who knows? Maybe what do they say? Maybe it's what are they? Mercury's in the microwave.
Yes.
Okay. So in answer to your question, Ian, what's going to occur is really no different than what occurred here, where the main companies that had propped all this up, they probably sold starting in here. And then they just kept selling while it was happening. And what they did was when it dropped, they repurchased that liquidity. They sunk it into tech. They literally just pushed it over the cliff and they put it in this great big reservoir for all things tech, AI specifically.
Okay.
So this period of time was the onboarding. This is when everybody came on board And then, of course, towards the end of 2022, that's when that would be in here. Yep. November 2022 is when ChatGPT became most widely available to the average user. Beforehand, it was being used, but it was just by developers. But then there was an interface that made it user-friendly. And ever since then, people have been adding more of their data. So the valuation of the market has been going up in the respect that a lot of the companies that sold in this area, they repurchased, they reinvested into tech to bring things back up again. And this is when NVIDIA really started to take off. And in the last couple of years, I think it's gone up to like over $2 trillion market cap or something crazy. So what's going to happen is yet again another sale. Wow, we got to sell things off. We did great. I mean, oh my goodness, look at how well they did. If they sold back in this area, they're up 80% right now, doubling that in 5 years. So that's a good position for them to go ahead, dump it down, and increase the size of their holdings into the new generation of tech companies, whether that's for the war. And war looks different now. Before it was people signed up for war bonds. This time it's going to be the stable coins, because the stable coins are what are being used to back the data. So I think that's why I keep on defaulting back to the doomsday approach, that this is not going to be sustainable. The triple top alone lets me know of that from a technical perspective. It's a 60% chance of it not continuing, that we have a 60% chance of a big retracement because of those triple tops. And yet I've been wrong before. And remember, don't always listen to what I have to say about it, because I thought that the Great Reset was happening in 2012 when I was buying gold, whatever it was. I can't remember. It's at a high. 1,300, 1,400 or something like that. So the implications are...
You're frozen. Still frozen. Oh. Still frozen. Still frozen.
That's so unfortunate that there's nothing that he could do about that.
Yeah, and it is. I think it's my internet, because even my trading view goes black. I may do a reset after this, folks, and we might have to cut it short.
So you said the implications.
The implications of what he's talking about are that this, whatever that drop is, say it's 38% again, coming back down to 2022 levels, it will allow those companies to reinvest and increase the size of their holdings by probably 37, 38%, just like last time. If that happens, then they will have won in this next phase of the battle, so to speak, similarly to how they won in this phase of the battle.
So it's been 5 years since the last dip.
Yep.
Do you anticipate the dips to speed up? Like to not be so far apart?
Yes. In fact,
what was the one before 2020?
Well, there was a little one. Let's go back here. Oh, I have to go to the weekly chart. Actually, I think 2008 would have been the last one.
Yeah, so you're talking 12 years.
Yep,
So
you're right.
So that's speeding up. So 12 years to 5 years.
Yes, I would say that it would be speeding up. And I think that what it's going to be is that it's going to be volatile, because, I mean, here's Bitcoin, right? The volatility of Bitcoin, the swings that occur here are so much greater. I mean, this drop here, this happened from 2021, November of 2021 down to here. That's a 77% drop. this kind of volatility is what they are wanting the economy to do.
Yep.
So I think that, I think that it would speed up. And I believe that we're going to see an AI bubble pop first, and then it's going to be a computing bubble.
Could be a what?
Computing chips.
Oh, well, I thought that's what the AI bubble was, is basically a chip issue.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. It really is more so a chip issue. And I think that the chips are also going to have a major component to play in the economy. And that might be like that what we see here, the next dip that we get signifies that next shift into the next generation of chips. But I still think those chips, similar to the AI bubble that we're seeing now, yes, we're driven by chips, but I think the next generation of this is going to be, it's going to be the computing. So, and specifically power. One of the reasons why AI is having these legacy LLM companies have the problem of scalability right now. It's actually diminishing returns on the amount of energy expended with those models. So they're getting crunched is what it is. And so it may be, and to your point, Ian, is that, this is actually a chip manufacturing crisis, and it's going to be framed as an AI crisis. And then the next level, I think, is going to be an energy crisis, because of just how much energy they consistently have to gobble up. They expect that by 2030, so in the next 4 years, they expect that all of the language learning models in North America will constitute 6% of the energy requirements for the entire nation. 6%.
When you talk about energy, you're talking about electrical energy?
Yes. Yeah, power. It's all just electricity. It's just like blockchain, right? Blockchain consumes electricity to put a transaction on the ledger. And, different coins have different efficiencies. We're going to see the same thing. Different chips are going to have different efficiencies. And already you can see evidence of this. The innovations that are coming out in chip manufacturing are absolutely mind-blowing, where they're able to create pseudo-quantum.
You froze.
Man, it looks like I'm back again.
Pseudo-quantum what?
Pseudo-quantum computing. So this is where they are able to create probabilistic computes instead of, what are they called? Deterministic. And I've shared that with a little bit before about how chips today in our computers, they are application-specific hardware. So we've got applications that we run on our computers, and those chips require specific configurations in order to run that software. But what's occurring now, especially with agentic LLMs coming out, is that there's a drive and a demand for chips that are very agile. So instead of having them become deterministic, saying that these are the only things that it can do within this wheelhouse of applications, like your calendar and your voice recorder and your iTunes and whatever else people are doing, those application-specific hardwares are going to be obsolete, because instead of you having to, adhere to a specific ecosystem of productivity apps, Android, you've got, email, and you've got your calendar, and you've got your, your file system and all that stuff. Well, in Apple, they've got their version. That those are going to be swept aside, because the computer that you get is going to have the capacity to have all of those things, the operating system for your productivity is going to be completely customized by an agentic LLM. So you will have your own workflows because of the way your brain works differently. Well, they wanted to make chips that reflect this. Our brains are very expansive in the way they think. The computer chips that we have in our computers are not. And so they don't operate LLMs very well because LLMs are probabilistic. They look at all the parameters and they calculate what would be the most probable outcome that fits your goal. So because they're probabilistic, it makes sense to put them onto a chip that is not deterministic and rather probabilistic. Well, that's a state of quantum computing, where you've got bits of information that are either a 1 or a 0 with these traditional computers. But with quantum computing, it's neither a 1 nor a 0 until the moment that the data is required. And then it oscillates between the two as needed. And then when it's done doing the task, it goes back into a stasis where that bit of information is neither a 1 nor a 0. In deterministic computing, it's always either a 1 or a 0. If it's blank, it can only be one or the other. It can't switch back and forth. If you want it to switch, you got to go and delete it and then rewrite something new. So with the way that these new chips are, they will be able to run these AIs with thousands of times less electricity because they're not trying to force these LLMs to be processed by machines that were never designed to run LLMs and are having to piece together all of their application-specific capacities to accomplish the task.
So are we going to run into a problem like with engineering? You need deterministic computing.
Yes.
So are we going to run into problems with engineering then if every chip is going to be probabilistic in nature?
I don't think it. Well, I mean, I would think that if the demand was there for it, that there would still be deterministic chips, but that they won't be something like engineers will get those for their specific application. But that generally speaking, the drawdown on the electrical grid is looking to be significantly reduced if these chips become widely available. The danger. And this is why I think we're starting to see that predictive programming language, for instance, in the instance with NVIDIA CEO saying that China has better AI than we do, and that's a national security risk. You know, that type of chat obviously is going to bring the need for propaganda that gets people to rise up, right? Support the American AI. NVIDIA is too big to fail, you know, and they don't always have to do that with attacks or anything like that. They can do it like this.
Yeah.
Right? They just drop it, crisis time, everybody sign up for those accounts. That data is what propped the economy going forward. The data is the commodity that is replacing, as in terms of volume, all of the other commodities. Data is running them all. It's like the one ring to rule it all. And that is how they were able to accomplish what they were able to get done over the last 5 years was absolutely incredible. Without having to tax the people, they got everybody to give them everything that they wanted for value, which was their data. And the next one, who knows? But we do know that it will be, again, another big sign up. And I believe that it will be sign up now for your digital ID so that you can get these stable coins which will help us in establishing a strong economy for America. And that way we can finish giving NVIDIA that $500 billion we said was going to happen with Project Stargate. People aren't going to have to give their money, but they'll just sign up and put their money onto a stable coin, and that's going to be the next rug pull.
Okay.
Those are my thoughts. Purely speculation, of course, and do not take this as trading advice and all those other disclaimers. I just look for patterns. Any questions? Charts you want me to bring up? Doge, this is an interesting chart. Doge is actually below that long-term trend line. If it can't keep it, it'll probably find another low. Possibly even come back to find support here. Here, this big dip. Again, we don't count that in terms of a trend. We just recognize it as a potential new support down here. XRP, big news in XRP. They are partnering up with MasterCard. That's going to be an integration that we'll probably see as an offer from MasterCard / XRP soon. And if that's the case, you can bet your boots XRP is going to go up in value very fast. BitTensor looking like it's finding some support here. It's a weak support on that long-term trend line. BitTensor, I do go to it. I look at it, not because I'm interested in buying it, nor do I recommend.
You're frozen.
I shouldn't have said anything. I was talking about how BitTensor was a globalist company, and that's when it froze me. So this one here,
It is a globalist company?
Big time. Yep. BitTensor provides they provide arbitrage service for all the big tech companies processing LLMs. They're even coming out with their own exchange in BitTensor.
Is it a decentralized? Is it a blockchain or what is it?
Yeah, they have their own entire blockchain, and they will be facilitating, and people can buy it. People can buy the coin itself, no different than a stock. That doesn't mean that they are going to be a receiver of these services. The receiver of these services.
Now you froze.
I just might go ahead and reload this, like end of the stream. It's causing too many problems, and we just finish this off ourselves. If it happens again, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Where was I with the BitTensor? Am I even audible? Am I back?
I see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where was I finished? Where was I with the BitTensor? I'll finish this up.
Didn't quite catch it.
Yeah, I just check up on it because it helps me give a pulse on a lot of what's going on in the bubble itself.
But they're the meme people, are they not? The ones that the gaming and all that kind of stuff?
BitTensor, no, not so much. They provide data services for Google, Amazon, Meta. Yeah. The antithesis to BitTensor is desync. Desync is a self-hosted platform, so you can even launch and train your own LLMs on their platform, which is a decentralized cloud service. It's the opposite of what BitTensor is doing through their centralization of it. You know, it's like MetaMask. They say MetaMask is decentralized, but it's all of the content, all of the ledgers are hosted on Amazon. The same idea. BitTensor is trying to be the Amazon of cloud computing for legacy LLMs. Desync is saying, let's decentralize the cloud computing for LLMs for individuals. So now they can accomplish two things. A, they have enterprise grade cloud infrastructure. And two, they can train their LLMs for cheaper. And what was the third one? Oh, and the data is secured behind blockchain using Web3 protocols. So now authentication occurs with, token gates or stake gates.
Okay.
All right. Now,
But desync has obviously dropped quite a significant amount.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Desync is at all-time lows, just above all-time lows. In fact, all-time low for where we are right now is already up 50% from its all-time low.
Is there a reason for that?
It's long time. When people are investing and they see that their investment is not gaining returns, they get into fear mode and they just sell and sell and sell and sell. But they're still very active. They are not losing customers. In fact,
Oh, you froze. Still frozen. Still frozen.